guys, welcome back to another episode of Well That Sucked and Living Proof Podcast. Today I have a really cool, awesome, sweetheart of a guest coming on, or not coming on, but she's going to call in. Her name is Pam Toppen. I deployed back in 2014 with her son, and if you listen to the podcast, you'll understand what we're going to be talking about. It's not easy talking about it, but I think it needs to be put out there, coming from her, not from me, because this is her interview, not mine. So yeah, stay tuned. Look forward to it. I'll be working on it as fast as I possibly can, putting it on, whatever. All right, guys, be cool.
So I had to do something for health insurance. That's the only reason I went back.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, where are you working now?
I'm working at an insurance company right here locally.
Okay.
About 5 minutes from my house. So it's totally new, something different that I haven't done. In the last 25 years, I've done the same thing. So it's teaching an old dog new tricks.
Yeah, well, that's good. What do you do?
I'm just customer service rep, help the agent, do the paperwork, look up quotes, things like that. So.
Okay, I gotcha. Do you like it?
I do. It's family-run business. They're a wonderful family. So, and it's like I said, it's in our local little town here. So, and I love my little town.
Awesome, sweet. Well, all right. For the listeners who don't know who she is, this is Pam Toppen. I deployed with her son back in 2014 to Afghanistan, and we're just gonna have a little chat. So you're from Monica? Is that how you pronounce it?
Mokina.
Oh my God! I even wrote it down and I got it wrong. Wow. I'm fired. I fired myself. Yeah, isn't Jason Hughes? He's from Quincy.
He's from Quincy. Yeah, he's from the state of Illinois also.
How far away is that from that?
It's about 2 hours away from us.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and just tell me, what did Aaron like to do when he was growing up? What was he like?
Aaron was a fun kid. Aaron was a surprise child. So he had 2 older sisters. There was 8 years difference between my middle child and him. So, but he was quiet. He wasn't real outgoing. He never wanted attention on him, really? But always very patriotic. In his grade school years, one of our funnest stories to tell is, Proud to be an American. He was supposed to sing that for one of his programs. Yeah. And he would ride his bike up and down the road in front of the house with the boombox blaring, and he would be singing it at the top of the lungs to the point where the neighbor came over and asked us if he could turn it down a little bit. So, and I have his preschool. He had a program, and the teacher sent home a note, and I still have it, and it said that he wanted to be a soldier for his preschool program. So it's always been in his blood to want to do something like that. Yeah, as he got older, he loved to fish, he loved to hunt, loved to take the pickup truck in the mud and do bonfires and just hang out with his friends.
Yeah. That sounds very redneck, and it definitely sounds like Aaron.
Yeah.
Now, so you told me you're a Gold Star member. So for those who don't understand what that is, what does it do exactly? What exactly do you do?
Well, a Gold Star family member is somebody that has lost a loved one while they were killed in action, KIA. There is an organization, it's our other family, and it's all members of families that have lost loved ones, killed in action, wherever it may be. It's a family that you feel very comfortable with. They all got the same doorbell. They all got the same knock. They all got the same news. So a lot of questions aren't asked when you're with them. So it's a very comforting time when you're with them. So we try to get together. We do baseball games. The governor has sponsored us baseball games and things like that. We do a Christmas party. Christmas Wreaths Across America is coming up this weekend. And Wreaths Across America is where all the national cemeteries, Arlington, all the way across the United States, will have wreaths placed on the grave sites. So we're at Abraham Lincoln is the national cemetery here. Aaron is not buried there. And the only reason for that is, as you know, his father died 4 months before he was killed. So he's buried next to his dad. But we do go out there and we do go to the ceremony, which is very nice. And then we do lay wreath on the grave sites of those that.
That's great. Yeah, you guys do great things for military families and all that, and for all the people that are part of it. I mean, they just do an outstanding job. So how was Aaron back in hie school? What did he like to do?
We laugh about Aaron in high school. Like I said, he's not a real loud kid, but he was a funny kid, and he would do funny things. But we always said Aaron got through high school because of his fiancée Jackie doing his homework most of the time. So I think he bribed him with Pizza Hut pizzas.
So yeah. So going into so you're saying that he was very patriotic, and like you could tell that he obviously wanted to join. Did he tell you some of the reasons why? I'm assuming he did.
No, I'm okay. You'll know when I'm not. But my father was in the Navy, and my husband's father was in the Army. And I really think, if you remember and seen his tattoo that he got when he was in Colorado, it said, "For those I love, I sacrifice," and it had my dad's dog tag and my husband's father's dog tag on there. So I think that may have had something to do with it. You know, he really never said anything, but he was about 6 years old when he really started sharing it, and it was right around the time of 9/11. And deep down, when he was little, I remember that morning so clear. He was running around the house, and then we were all glued to the TV. And to this day, I really feel that had a lot to do with it, too.
I imagine, yeah. That stirred up a lot of things. How did the siblings take it?
You know what? Everybody was supportive. And you have to support your children in their dreams. It's something Aaron always wanted to do. I took him to the recruiter and sat there with him at the recruiter's office, and the recruiter said, "You got it 99%. Your mother's here with you. You got the support of your family." And we were all very proud of him for what he wanted to do and how he wanted to, protect his country.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember when he first got to the unit, Jason was asking him questions about Illinois and what he would do and stuff, because Jason always knew that he had knew something about him because he was from Illinois. So, when he got to his first unit, when did he like tell you what he liked and didn't like about it, and he?
Well, after boot camp, he got to go out to Fort Carson in Colorado, and this was like heaven for a kid who likes to fish and hunt and walk and everything like that. So he loved doing things like that. He would get very upset. Aaron went in saying it was going to be career. If not, he was going to go into law enforcement. But the days that he would get frustrated is when nobody seemed to have an answer, or they tell you one thing and the military would change it right away. Exactly. And that would be so frustrating for him. And my suggestion was, you know what? Why don't you make that your goal to work on that and see why and, what can be fixed so everybody doesn't go through that. But we experienced it ourselves with the incident we went through after, when he was killed. It's just something that everybody in the military says it's there. So.
Yeah. And you guys came out to see him, too, right before deployment. Did you go out and visit Colorado?
We did. We came out and seen him. His dad didn't make it, but we came out there, and actually he did sneak home to see his father, who was in the hospital when he came home before he deployed. So, but it was nice. He was going out to take down base. That was what the mission was, and I was probably the most relaxed Army mom there was, thinking, okay, he's telling me about the stray dogs, and I'm sending suckers for the kids, and, the care packages, and he requested Funyuns and all that crazy stuff, so it wasn't that bad. And then Memorial Day, he blew up a roadside bomb, and he sent that video to his sisters and did not send that to his mother. And I seen it, and that was like an eye-opener for me, but still it was, okay. And you just, like I said, he had the support of his entire family and friends, and everybody was proud of him. So,
What's crazy too is I decided to post that picture or that video on my Instagram when it blew up, and my parents saw it. Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, okay, so that's what you do." They finally got through their heads because my mom kept asking me. She was like, "So, what exactly do you do?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm a driver."
yeah, right. Well, we don't know, I mean, being back home, we hope whatever it is you do it safe, but we don't have a clue whatsoever what you're trained to do, what you do. And to this day, we still ask Jason, what kind of truck was there in driving? Because we always forget the size truck he was driving. So, it's just, it's interesting to hear the things that you do when you're deployed like that. And I don't think a lot of people realize what all does go on, and it's not all feeding the puppies and handing out suckers, by no means.
Exactly, yeah. And those kids, excuse my language, but those little kids are a bunch of assholes. They are.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah, if you had stuff all over your kit, they would be pulling whatever they wanted off of there.
Yeah.
But so, oh man, what was the other question? Sorry, I have my notes right here. Yeah, he made some really good friends in deployment too. To be there with him and stick through it. And what was? Did he say anything about his friends on deployment, and any funny stories that he shared with you?
Well, we see some funny pictures with him with bunny ears on at Easter time, hanging over the bunk bed and bothering his partner there. And I know he shared with us that somebody had put a grenade underneath his bed or something of that nature. He woke up to that, just all fun and games. We do like to hear that before you guys went out or deployed on the mission, watching Frozen on an iPad. Were you part of that? Yeah. No, you weren't. We could just picture all these soldiers watching one little iPad, watching the movie Frozen. So. Yeah. But no, he was very fond when he got chosen to go on the mission. If I'm jumping ahead on your interview, Ian, just stop me. But when he got chosen to go on the mission, I was actually in Minnesota fishing, and he was texting, and he said, "Mom, I've just got chosen to go on a special mission with Special Forces. I'm with 5 of the best. I love you." And that was it. And, it was something he was proud to do. We were in the funeral home when my husband died in February, and his unit was getting on the plane to go to Afghanistan. And he just was so torn and so sad watching it, and he wasn't there. So.
Yeah, that's something that you don't want a soldier to go through right before they deploy.
Yep.
So, yeah, getting into that, what we were just talking about. So, you received the phone call and all that. What were you doing?
I received the knock on the door on June the 9th. Yes, 11:59 at night. They knocked on the door. I thought it was somebody trying to see if I was home, seeing a recent widow, and they pounded and pounded and pounded, and finally looked out my bay window and seen uniforms and thought, okay, he's injured, but that wasn't the case. But then to hear friendly fire was hard. You sign on the dotted line and there's that chance with enemy, but friendly fire is something that was very hard for us to accept.
And it was a shock to all of us. I mean, it was just crazy. So what were the following steps leading up to that?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What were the following steps that kind of led after that? I mean, you called family and...
Yeah, I called my daughter that lives a couple towns over from me, and of course, in 4 months, this is the second time I woke her up in the middle of the night. Tried to I have a daughter that also lives in New York, and tried to contact her, and she wasn't answering her phone. We actually had to go through a mutual friend, have her mutual friend walk over there, and by the time she got over to her apartment, and we were ringing the door. We were ringing the phone as she was knocking on the door. So she was able to get on a plane immediately, and her friend flew with her to turn around and fly back to New York just so she was accompanied with somebody. Things are so blurry. Things went so fast. I know my street was tore up from televisions and interview people, and it was ridiculous. It got to the point where you said, okay, at 5:00, we're going to have one big interview and you all can come then, but they even went up and down the streets to the neighbors, asking the neighbors. And it was like, bees on honey. So, but from there, it was hurry up and wait. We had our casualty officer, who was absolutely wonderful. It was his first time doing this because the casualty officer we were supposed to get didn't have his uniform with him that day. And we understand within a certain period of time from the death, they have to be in touch with the family. So we had a casualty officer that took this on, and we love him today. He just was wonderful and became part of our family. Then after that, your head is spinning. Which way are you going? People are coming to the door. You got to do this. You have the Illinois Patriot Guard wanting to do the flag line for you. It's such big hearts and so many good people, and our community and our church and everybody just stepped up, and it just was amazing. Took a while to get the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. It took a while to get the remains back on U.S. soil. That was a little frustrating. It was coming, they weren't coming, they were coming, they weren't coming. So that had us a little frustrated. We were glad when that finally happened. One thing that really upset our family is when we went to Dover, we were with 5 families that just lost their loved ones by a friendly fire. And we get into Dover, and the flags were not at half staff. And that's the first thing you noticed when you drove in there was the flags. And to me, that was a slap in the face almost. We were told, well, it's up to the president to call it, and usually it's 24 hours before the funeral. But you have 5 soldiers that gave their life, and it was taken by friendly fire, and you can't lower it. I think the flag should be at half staff when any KIA comes back to the U.S. soil. Yeah.
I was watching a lot of videos that you posted, and a lot of bikers did a lot of rallies for Aaron.
We have a wonderful support group. When he got back to Midway in Chicago, his remains, there was motorcycles, family, friends all over. It was amazing, and all the way from Midway to our house. It was shoulder to shoulder with people paying their respects. We thought it couldn't get any better, and we got to Mokina, and half of the roads were closed off, and they were 20 people deep. Just unbelievable. And the support has been there since then. We have actually started a foundation. We have a 501c3 foundation now. And since Aaron has passed away, we have done many fundraisers. That may be some of the videos that you see, because one of them is a motorcycle run that we do. But his friend started a fishing tournament right after he died at one of the clubs their family belongs to. So we do that every year, and that's sort of our fun one. It's not our big one, but it's something that the boys started, even though they were 19 years old, and they sort of left it up to us to finish. But they had big hearts and good ideas. So, and then we always have the motorcycle run, which started the following year after he died, and we do that in August. And then September at Aaron's birthday weekend, we have a 5K. Okay. So our 5K goes to Pat Tillman Foundation. And we've raised over $110,000 for them since Aaron's been killed. Other places that we've donated to is at the Lincoln Way East High School, which is where Aaron graduated from. We do a scholarship every year for a student graduating senior there. Operation Warrior Wishes, which is local. It's a father and son out of St. Charles, and they wanted to do a football game at every stadium in one season. One of the games they ended up taking a wounded vet, and they seen what it meant. So now they take veterans, wounded vets, and their families. And actually, Jason has gone to a game with them, a hockey game.
That's great.
But all you have to do is nominate somebody, and they will hook up with you. You can go online on their website, and they will hook up with you if you know somebody, and they will take them out for a very nice evening. We've done the 100 Club of Chicago, which supports our first responders here in the area.
Right.
Puppies Behind Bars is one that we've been involved with since the beginning, and actually there was a dog in jail named Toppen. And Toppen, the prisoners train the dogs, and they train them for service dogs for wounded vets or bomb detection for law enforcement. So there's no overhead or anything.
Yeah.
And Toppen donated 11 puppies, and one of her puppies is now a bomb detection dog at the Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
So, yeah, a lot of cool things.
That's really cool.
Fisher House Foundation, of course, we donated to that. My granddaughter, when Erin died, she would have been 8. While we were planning funeral, made a lemonade stand outside my driveway just to keep herself occupied. And she raised $1,711 at her lemonade stand. And she wanted to donate it to, my husband was an amputee. She wanted to donate it to Wounded Warriors amputee softball team. So we went to a tournament they had in Indianapolis for the weekend. We went down there and she presented that to them. And then, of course, yeah, you know what? She was charging a quarter and getting $20 too. So, like I said, our community is amazing, that's for sure, and still to this day. So those are just some of the things that we have done, and in the last 4, going on 5 years, we've raised $214,963 and have given it to these charities. In addition to that, we are involved in a veterans food drive at Thanksgiving time, and the church that we go to does it in memory of Erin, and we're out there collecting it and putting it together the next weekend. But the church has brought in 174.5 tons of non-perishable food and laundry detergent to help feed that. So every year we are very busy, but you know what? We could be mad. We could be very mad.
You guys are choosing which is great.
Exactly. This is our way of not doing that, is staying involved and paying it forward.
Too, so it's very selfless. That's great.
Exactly, and that's what we want to do, and that's what our mission is with our foundation.
Great. Now, when you guys came to Colorado to meet us,
we did.
WTS-12,
yes, we did.
You know, I mean, despite the fact it was great to see you guys, and we had a pretty good time. Had a really good time meeting you guys, and the party we had at Jason's house was nice, and just knowing, and like I remember my first thought of meeting you guys. I mean, you guys were so humble, and you guys, I mean, it was still fresh. So you guys were still, it was still fresh, open wound, but you guys still were had the best mindset, and that was something that hit me the most, was when we were talking about that in the backyard.
Yeah, well, and a lot of that had to do with you are Erin's brothers, and you guys were with Erin, and so to me, it's like part of the family, I mean, that's how we feel about it now. So, and that's how we felt about it then. It was just, and you had each other's backs, and that's the way it was always supposed to be, and we did have a wonderful time that weekend too.
Yep. Yeah, you guys came into our company, and we showed you the weapons and all that, and one of our guys got the 50 cal stuck. And
yeah. Do you still see the video? Do you see the video every now of me at the berm, shooting the gun at the berm? I was the only one that shot the AR. What was that? An AK.
Were you standing or were you sitting?
I was standing.
Okay, so it probably was AR or M4.
And so I thought it was maybe an AK, but anyhow, nobody else would do it. So I was going to do it Rambo style. Jason told me to do it Rambo style, remember?
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that inspired me to get a gun. So I actually bought a Glock 19 off of Jason after that. No, 'cause I was the only guy there without a weapon. So.
Well, I will tell you this, Jason says always wanted to do something for Gold Star families to protect them, and I was the first one, but he was so kind to send me a Glock. He made arrangements for me to go get my concealed and carry down by his dad in Quincy, so I did a weekend down there. Sent me ammunition, my eye protection, my ear protection, my safe. It was amazing. So, yeah, he did. So,
Well, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I don't want to take up too much of your time, and honestly, like, thank you so much for coming on my show and talking about this whole experience. He's never forgotten. I think about him every day. I got him and Klaus on my wall, so I can just stare at him whenever I'm editing and just salute him every once in a while. But I want to thank you for taking your time to come on my show and just being a great guest.
not a problem. We would love to invite you to come to our 5K.
Yeah.
We had Russ and Elizabeth last year because, as you know, Elizabeth was a scholarship winner through Pat Tillman 2 years ago, so all of our efforts were sort of complete. Okay. And they came down for the 5K, so we would love to have some kind of reunion with the group. Absolutely. And if we know how many are coming, we'll make arrangements to get you guys put up and just to have a real nice weekend. So.
Well, that's the thing. I can't be running, though, because I got ran over by a car.
Yeah, I have 2 new knees, so we walk it too.
I'll be in my walker with my little squeeze ball. So. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Right. You too. Have a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, guys. So that concludes our show. She is one of the sweetest ladies that I've ever met, and so humble. Her whole family is, and they're great. They're great people. They do so much for the community, and it's not just for Aaron Toppen. Like they help people with scholarships. They provide food. I mean, like, good God Almighty! Like, they're so busy. I feel bad because I just sit behind a computer and talk into a microphone. Oh, got an email. Yeah, so, ooh, that's really loud. Turn it down. All right. Hey, guys, so have a good rest of your week. I'm going to be editing this probably for a couple days. It's a long one, so when am I at, 26 minutes? Oh, it's not that long. But anyways, yeah, I'm going to get it out as soon as possible. Guys, have a good rest of your week. Bye.